Hey guys, this is Tanner with Utility Disc Golf, and today I'm reviewing the Discmania DD2. This is the fastest driver from Discmania, so let's warm up our arms and get into the review. So let's start off by talking about the look and feel of the DD2. For the majority of the review, I threw it in the S-line plastic, but I also threw it in the C-line and the P-line. But we'll talk about how these flew a little bit later in the review. As for the S-line plastic is a durable yet grippy plastic from Discmania. It's got a nice stiffness to it, but it also has a little bit of grip to where you can really feel confident when you're trying to grip it and rip it. The rim of the DD2 is pretty wide. It's the widest rim driver from Discmania, and it's also the fastest speed driver. So if you have smaller hands, depending on your preference, it might be a little bit too wide. But for me, I can still have a nice confident grip with a power grip and even a forehand grip. The DD2 is the fastest driver from Discmania, so it requires a pretty fast arm speed in order to utilize the full flight of the disc. For me, I noticed that when I threw it flat, the disc would go straight for, I would say, 60 to 75% of the flight before the fade would kick in and it would start to work left for a right-handed backhand player. But for being a faster driver, I was really surprised at how much glide this has. The disc really wants to stay up in the air, so you get quite a bit of distance before that fade kicks in. On an Anheuser release, the DD2 would give me a nice, great S-shaped curve to the flight, which is going to give you a lot of distance. But it is a faster, wider rim disc, so you really have to be careful of the nose angle of the disc when releasing on an Anheuser, and you really have to make sure that you get a good snap on it, or else the disc stability is going to kick in a lot sooner, and it's going to kind of stall out to flat and then work left earlier in the flight. When I threw the DD2 on a hyzer angle, it basically held the hyzer angle for the majority of its flight. One thing that I was surprised about is that even though it's a faster disc, the glide of the DD2 really kicks in on the hyzer because it doesn't just fall out of the air. It still wants to have a lot of forward carry before it hits the ground. I also threw the DD2 in a couple other plastic types. I threw it in the C-line plastic and the P-line plastic. The C-line plastic is the most durable plastic from Discmania. It's got a nice stiffness to it. It's a little bit slick as well. But the one thing that I really like about the C-line is that it's going to hold the flight characteristics of the disc for the lifetime of the disc, basically. Because it is more durable, it's not going to beat in as quickly, so you're going to get a nice consistent flight for a really long time. As far as how it flew compared to the S-line plastic, I noticed that the C-line plastic was more overstable, so it's going to have a tendency to have a harder fade at the end of its flight. The P-line plastic is a little bit softer plastic than the S-line. It has just a little bit more grip, but it still has that same stiffness to it. For me, the P-line was more understable than the S-line, so when I threw it on a flat release, it would turn to the right a little bit more, and it wouldn't have as hard of a fade at the end of its flight. The P-line disc that I threw has a little bit more dome to it as well than the S-line, so if you're somebody who likes a little bit of dome to their disc, I would definitely look at the P-line. If the S-line or the C-line is too stable for you, but you like the feel of the DD2, I would look at the P-line as well, because right out of the box, this can be your max distance driver. The DD2 is a great high-speed distance driver. For you slower arm speeds, you're going to love the consistent fade that you get out of the DD2. It's going to be a disc that you can reach for long-distance hyzer shots. It's going to be a nice headwind disc, and it's also going to be a disc that you can forehand with a lot of confidence. For faster arm speed players, you're going to reach for the DD2 for your max distance drives. Right out of the box, you're going to get a slight turn to the right before that fade kicks in for right-handed backhand players. But once you beat the DD2 in a little bit, I could see it being a great slight hyzer flip to S-curve shot for you to really get a lot of distance. If you guys like this video, please leave us a like. If you have any questions about the DD2, please leave them down in the comment section below. If you guys want to see more disc reviews from Discmania, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, stay fly.